unbelievable. You have got to be kidding me. Going from 6-3 to being at 500 and not making the playoffs. Oh my God. What about the fact that we're 6-3, the division sucks, we can win the division, and then we choke it away? This year, 2013, has been the year of the firings here on All Andy Alfred. We've fired Phil Nevin. We're in the process of firing Nick Vitucci. Now we gotta add another one, because the Lion Faithful want it happen. They want it. And I agree with them. This is a legitimate concern for this team. Hashtag fire Jim Schwartz. Now, I've talked to a lot of Lions fans. I've heard it from a lot of Lions fans on Twitter and on Facebook. They want Schwartz gone. And you know what? I agree with them. I totally agree with them. Schwartz, gotta go. This is the best time to win the division. The Bears with Cutler out. Rodgers and the Packers injury prone out. And you can't win the division? Might as well just give it to the Vikings. But it's gonna happen. You knew it. I knew it as soon as we lost last night. And I saw it's gonna be Chicago, Green Bay. I knew Green Bay's going to win it. They're going to win the division. And I can't believe it. We had legitimate chance after chance after chance to put this away. The only win that provided us the spark was Thanksgiving. And what happened? What happened after that? Lost to the Eagles. Lost to Tampa. Lost to the Giants. Lost to the Ravens. And don't get me wrong, that Raven kick, the kick for the 61-yarder, that was pretty amazing. You could have rallied off of that. But what did you do? You could have beat the Giants. The Giants are a horrible team without Victor Cruz. Manning not being Manning. And what did you do? Bush fumbles. Stafford stunk. And Schwartz is going to be to blame for this. Because of one factor. Stafford is becoming lazy in the pocket. He just flings it on the side. And Megatron is Megatron. Calvin Johnson will be Calvin Johnson. That's a given fact. But you've got to be kidding me. The division was yours. I had them picked to win the whole thing. And look what happened. It's just the Lion. This whole episode. Oh, and welcome back. We're back in the man cave, of course, all ladies. And I love you guys, even though Schwartz needs to be fired. Welcome into another edition of All Andy Alfred, right here on ClayFan23, right here on ClayFan23. I'm so used to saying FalconRadio.org, WFAL. But I'm back on ClayFan23 as we're doing these shows now this whole week, and the week after that, for the holiday season, of course, because the show's not going to be on FalconRadio.org, WFAL, for until after January 1st, after the first of the year. So, we're back on the air here on on ClayFan23. And like I said, the Lions last night against the Giants, again, I'll reiterate this again, losing in overtime to the Giants 23-20 was just something else to say the least. It was a New York kind of a day here in the Northwest Ohio area as the Browns took on the Jets. A meaningless, pointless game to say the least. As the Browns lost to the New York Jets, the football Jets, Jets, 24-13 to say the least. Also looking at, like I said, Philadelphia going out and surprising the Chicago Bears. They surprised the Bears with a big 54-11 win. It's unbelievable. Pittsburgh was a winner 38-31 over Green Bay. So that sets up for the NFC North Division Championship game next week. Chicago takes on Green Bay. Also sets up Philadelphia to take on the Dallas Cowboys next week in the East for the championship. So a lot of the playoff situations are getting ready and being set up in the NFL. I mean, you look at it this way. The whole standing situation is this. If you're looking at for the Lions, the Lions were mathematically eliminated last night in the playoffs. We had the division won. We had it won. All you needed to do was win games. And what happened? No, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So this is what the situation is in the NFL. Okay. You gotta love this. You know, Denver. That's a situation in the AFC. We'll get into that in just a second. In the NFC, Seattle and Carolina have won their divisions. Seattle winning the West, Carolina winning the South. So basically, the East and the North are the last left to round out. The two wildcard spots: New Orleans and San Francisco. Need a lot of help. Need a lot of help to get to win. Just plain and simple, to say the least. And I know Alan Mars likes to count when I say to say the least. But in the AFC, you looking at the picture. It's Denver and New England. Cincinnati is the North champions, and Indianapolis will win the South. Has won the South. Kansas City wraps up. So there's one playoff spot left in the AFC, and I think it's gonna go to Miami. I think the Dolphins are a very good team. I was surprised after all the scandals, after all the situations with Richie Incognito. I think the Dolphins are going to be a really good team to watch out for in the playoffs. I really believe so. They're a very good club, very interesting to watch, and they'll have a special dynamic to them. But of course, next week, it will be the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Cleveland Browns in this area. And of course, the Detroit Lions having to go on the road to finish their season against Minnesota. Let's get to 500, boys. 8-8 is fine. If we go 7-9, like I said, Schwartz has got to go. Schwartz has got to go. That's just got to happen. You know what else has got to go? Today's bowl game, the Beef O'Brady Bowl. It's a bowl game today? Oh, it's a Mid-America Conference team. Oh, it's got to be Toledo, right? Toledo's a really good club. It's not. I'll say it again. Toledo got screwed out of a bowl game, and they screwed themselves. The loss to Akron, they screwed themselves out of a bowl game. And now Ohio has to take that bowl spot. They play Eastern Carolina today in the Beef O'Brady Bowl. It's the only bowl game going on today. Looking at some of the bowl games that have happened so far, they had the famous Idaho Potato Bowl for the Mid-American Conference. Buffalo losing to San Diego State, 49-24. Did I say the Mid-American Conference is not going to get that many wins in the bowl games? I think we will. I think BG will get a win in a bowl game. It's a Pitt team that's not that good. Their only signature win this year was against Notre Dame. And that's when Notre Dame was highly ranked. Take it as you will. But of course, you have the whole situation set up for NIU. NIU will be in the Poinsettia Bowl. They'll take on the beautiful college known as one Utah State. The Aggies of Utah State. And I think it's a good matchup. You know, usually back in the day, whoever won the MAC championship game got to go to the GoDaddy Bowl, or the bowl game of their choosing. You know, and we, of course, chose the beautiful Little Caesars Pizza Bowl. Well, bear in mind, I will say this, okay? The bowl committee, I mean, if you're looking at this, BG should be in a better bowl game. I could see them honestly being in the Orange Bowl. That's the truth. Because Clemson's just going to blow Ohio State out of the water. That's no question. And I'm sorry, Buckeye Nation. Clemson's a very, very good club. Clemson's going to beat Ohio State. Stanford might have a little bit of a trouble beating Michigan State, and I think Michigan State's going to win in the Rose Bowl. The national championship sets up as Florida State taking on Auburn. Pick the Seminoles. Bowling Green, I think, is going to win their bowl game against Pitt. I'll just write that right now up. Write that up now, folks. What's your ticket? Hey, and you know, and the acquisition that Bowling Green went out and got for their head coach was a good decision for them. You know, looking at their new head coach, Dino Barbers. Barbers is now the new head coach of the Bowling Green State University Falcons. I think it's a good fit. I just want to know how he's going to run this offense and how he's going to run this defense a little bit more. You know, we'll get more and more into his in depth later on down the road for this during this show. But Barbers being the new head coach of our Bowling Green State University Falcons, you know, he's very good. He's a very good coach. His record doesn't really prove it that much, even though this season he led Eastern Illinois to a 12-2 record and the number 2 ranking in the FBS playoffs. And he outscored his opponents 675 to 319. You know, he brings 30 years of coaching experience with him to Bowling Green, and I like that. I really like that a lot. I'm just wondering how he's going to run this offense. How is he going to build this defense up to get better and better next season? It's a very good question, to say the least. It'll be interesting how Barbers will teach this club. And you know, Bowling Green will not have Barbers on the field for the bowl game, of course. But it will be interesting to find out how he's going to be a presence later on down the road. How is he going to get the students involved in this game a little bit more? Because Clausen, or Clueless, as I call him still, Clausen got these kids to the football stadium, got them to watch this game by giving pizzas, hot chocolate. I wish we could say the same for the basketball teams. The basketball teams are doing well. The women's side of Bowling Green they're untouchable right now. The men's side, there's still some questions. I still have a couple of them. Still after doing the North Dakota game with Alan Mars this past 2 weeks ago on Wednesday. And it will be interesting to see how they're going to perform. I'll be on the broadcast, of course, as they take on Eastern or Buffalo. They'll take on Buffalo, I believe, at the Stroh Center. I'll be on the call for that one as well too. I'll be on the call for the Eastern Michigan basketball game as well too with Garrett Mansfield, the voice of BGRSO. Well, I know you all want to hear this. It's very interesting, to say the least. The collapse of the Blue Jackets against the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to say it. Saturday was a great win. It took away the pain that was Thursday night. Thursday night was the worst night I have ever been a Jacket fan in my entire life. You're 3-0 after 2. You're dominating the Philadelphia Flyers, who are in your division! And you let them back in the game. Give them 1, and we tie it right back. We give it right back. Get 4. 4-1. 4 unanswered goals. Are you kidding me? I choose my words carefully. It just bothers me. It really bothered me when I saw that, and I looked at the highlights, because they're in our division. Okay, Saturday. Let's take away Saturday. Thursday, that could have been the end of the season right there. For me, that could have been the end of the season. But what they did on Saturday, coming back and winning that game, and winning a game after losing that heartbreaker, it really got me going. It really did. And tonight's not a big test. It's a test for them as well too. It's another divisional opponent for the Jackets. It's another divisional opponent. The Jackets have to go on the road and play Carolina. The raging Carolina Hurricanes. And they're a really good club. They're a very good club. And it will be interesting to see how the Jackets will respond after the win on Saturday against the Philadelphia Flyers. It'll be interesting. Because in the division, the division is it's opening up now. You're starting to see a little bit of a runaway situation with the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Rangers are starting to get hot at the same time too. I don't count out the Islanders. The Islanders are a very good club too. They're going to play Detroit tonight. Who, by the way, I will say this right now. Okay? I'm going to say this on the air, and I mean it. The Red Wings suck this year. They suck. They will suck for the next 2 years. This Winter Classic that's going to be happening in Ann Arbor, it's not going to be that much of a game because the Maple Leafs are a better team. Saturday didn't prove it. It took overtime and a shootout for the Wings to win. And what happened? Datsuk had to pull one out of his hat and win. But the Winter Classic's not going to be that good of a game. I really don't think so. I think a battered and injured Detroit team this year isn't going to make the playoffs. I really don't think so. Datsuk's playing hurt. You're having Tatar and Allocator step up to the plate and score goals for this team. They're really not that good. On the Jackets side, the Jackets need to continue to play hockey. They need to get better and better. It's plain and simple. If they can get going and get set up, get the play set up and get started, you'll win hockey games. Can't say the same about the Walleye. And hashtag fire Nick Vitucci. When we're on Keith Olbermann for a bobblehead, and we're the world's worst, and because we're dedicating a night to anger management because of the coach, In the words of Nick Vitucci, I think it's a win-win for the organization. Please. He's got to go. I don't know what Napoli's doing. Must be up there counting the money. Because you really want to be at the winter thing, the winter festival next year, and see us get blown out 7-0. Nobody will show up to that. You get a new coach, you get a new system, you'll win hockey games. I'm done with Nick Vitucci. I'm done with him. Jackets got to win tonight. The Islanders are a hot club. I think they'll beat the Detroit Red Wings. Baseball's coming. Unfortunately, today we were supposed to have Nick DeVera on our program from Rational Pastimes, or his new blog is called The Hipster Baseball Predictor. This guy, he knows his stuff, but he comes up with the weirdest ideas and the weirdest situations. And it's just plain and simple to see that the hipster doofus didn't make it to the program today, unfortunately. But it is very interesting to see what's going to happen with the Jackets tonight in Carolina, as well as what's going to happen with the Wings tonight as they take on the Islanders. As we're getting closer and closer to the Winter Classic happening on January 1st up at the Ann Arbor. It's just plain and simple. We'll find out what happens with the. We'll find out what happens tonight. What happens tonight, and what happens also down the road as well too. So here's my predictions for this week. Of course, I want to thank all you for watching on this program, as well as too. I hope you all have a terrific Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. If you're not going to join us, we'll be back on the air for you guys on Wednesday for our special Christmas edition of All Andy Alfred, of course. And Thursday, we are going to have Lucas Sigerson on the program. He will be breaking down all the bowl games and getting you set up for the big Little Caesars Pizza Bowl happening this upcoming Thursday evening up at Ford Field between my Bowling Green State University Falcons and the Pittsburgh Panthers. Maybe they're called the Pitt Panthers, as they're called. So, well, until then, I am Andy Alfred, and I hope you have a terrific holiday. Go Jackets and go Falcons! And most of all, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together. A game for life. And to the teams behind me, to the Falcons, and to you at home, victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat. Have a great holiday, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday for our special Christmas edition of All Andy Alfred. And remember, I love you guys!